Hey everybody, it's Coach Kit here from getfitwithkit.com with this week's tip. So one of the most common questions I get is the question of, gosh, Kit, I've fallen off track. I can't get motivated again. I have so many ups and downs and stops and starts. So what can I do to get back on track? What can I do to stay there and make this healthy lifestyle consistent? Well, first off, I want to share a little quote with you. And the quote is from someone called Walter Elliott. And he says, perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after another. So I'm going to be the first to raise my hand and say I've been there. I've gone through long winters here living in the Northeast where, getting up and working out when you're waking up in the dark and going to bed in the dark is not that motivating. And also those times when, healthy vegetables and fruits are not in abundance and you feel like your food's getting boring and you just fall into this bad eating rut. So been there, done that. However, over time, I found some great tips, some great actions that you can take to make sure that you stay on track for a longer period of time. And also, if you do fall on track, to make sure you kick it back in gear pretty quickly. So the first thing I would do is I would say, sit down and make a list. Make a list of pros and cons, which we often do when we're trying to make big decisions. And this is a big decision. This is about your health. This is about the overall quality of your life. And make a list of things, positive things that will happen if you make changes, if you decide today to start exercising regularly and eating right. All the different things. How is it going to affect you at work? How is it going to affect your relationships with your significant other? How will it impact you as a parent? All those types of things. And then make a list of cons. If I stick with the status quo and do nothing, what's going to happen, right? All those things that'll happen if you just keep on the same path that you're on now. Then, using that list, the second thing I would suggest that you do is you write out what I call your why. Tony Horton, Big Brother, often calls this your raison d'etre, to say it in French. And it has to be a lot more. It has to be deeper than something that's short term or something that is sort of on the surface, getting back into clothes that you haven't worn in 10 years, trying to look good in front of a mirror. That is not something that's going to keep you on track. For me, I have, certain health history in my family. Unfortunately, our mom's life was taken way too soon with Parkinson's and lung cancer. I also started my family, a little later than others. And I know I'm going to be I'm an older parent now and I'm going to be a much older grandparent and I want to be around. I want to be active, for my kids and my grandkids going through life. So really dig deep. Think about what that reason is. And using that pro and con list, write down your why in 2 or 3 sentences. And I always say, use one of those big Post-its and post it on a place where you can see it every single day. Maybe it's the mirror that you look in first thing in the morning in the bathroom. Maybe it's right on your desk every single day. So when you do have temptations and when you do start to fall off track, that is your daily reminder for making the right choice. The next tip I would give, tip number 3, is enlist a friend. There is no better way to stay on track toward a goal if you have some level of motivation, support, and more importantly, accountability from someone else who has a similar goal to you. I have that with my Beachbody coaching business. And as you know, I run online Facebook groups through our team, Team Thrive, all the time. And I've had hundreds and hundreds of people tell me that it wasn't until they became a part of my online Facebook group where they truly stuck with a health and fitness plan. Because just checking in with that group once a day and seeing those posts and seeing what those people were doing and why they were doing it motivated them to make the right choice. So enlist some help, even if it's getting up every morning and walking every day with a friend. Check in with each other through texting. We have all these modern ways to stay connected. And it's lots of useful tools that you can use to stay on track as well. The next tip I would give, tip number 4, is get a plan. As the old saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you've got to have some type of fitness plan. You've got to have some type of eating plan in place. And of course, Beachbody, gosh, there's over 175 different programs that they offer. And it's as simple as pulling out that workout calendar and putting, beaming up the workout that you're supposed to do that day and doing it to the best of your ability. I have been a customer of Beachbody's for well over 10 years, and I still, follow the calendar. I still make a plan for every 30 days because I know that if I try to wing it, it's probably not going to happen. So really make sure that you have some type of fitness and nutrition plan. And then finally, the last tip I would say is find a kedge. And if you haven't heard of what a kedge is, I learned about this from this great book. It's called Younger Next Year. The author is Chris Crowley and Henry Lodge, and he tells a wonderful story in this book about finding a kedge. And if you don't know what a kedge is, during ancient times when large ships, before outboard motors and any type of thing, they would get becalmed in the seas, literally sitting there. And if enemy ships were coming toward them, it was a problem, right? So they used to, a smaller crew would get in a longboat, they'd row about, I don't know, 3/4, half a mile away, and they'd put a smaller anchor in the longboat called a kedge. And when they got far enough away, they would throw that anchor overboard, and then all the other guys on the big ship literally would pull on that line and pull themselves toward the smaller longboat until they got to where they needed to be. So when I say find a kedge, I mean, it's about climbing out of the ordinary, right? It's about setting a desperate goal and working like crazy to get there. So maybe go online and look up, even if it's a short race. It doesn't have to be a triathlon. It doesn't have to be a marathon. But maybe there's a local race nearby coming up in the next couple months. Maybe there's an event that you want to attend, you want to save money for. And usually when you have that kedge, when you have something that's going to really, a challenging goal that's going to kick you out of the ordinary, you have something you're working toward, and therefore you're more likely to stay on track. All right, I hope those tips are helpful. Go to it, give it a shot, and if you need any additional support, you know where to find it, getfitwithkit.com. Have a great day.